starting off today's video up in a tree. Last video you saw, I walked into a brand new parcel and sat right next to some pretty thick stuff in hopes of at least seeing a doe. I wasn't really expecting to see any bucks in there, but you know, two very nice shooter bucks ended up coming by me. Today I'm not in that parcel, but I'm in another completely new parcel that looks very similar. I'm set up in some super thick stuff. As I was coming in here, I bumped what I think was a doe, like right where I was about to stop and set up anyway. So I stopped coming in here and just decided to set up right where that deer spooked. I don't think she could have smelled me. I know she didn't see me, so I'm assuming she just got nervous hearing me walk over. It's November 3rd, so any doe that comes by me has a pretty good chance of dragging a buck right behind it. I'm not gonna shoot any does in here, but I would not mind seeing a couple. This is probably one of the thickest spots I've ever hunted. I'm only gonna be able to shoot like 20 yards. Yeah, there's only 20-yard lanes all around me, so we're gonna see how that works out. But typically, the bigger bucks feel a lot safer in this thick stuff. Same thing with the does too, so I wouldn't doubt I'll be seeing some deer today. Well, last night's sit did not go to plan. Didn't see any more deer after that one I spooked. I wasn't really that far in though, and I didn't really get to the area I wanted to get to because my wind was bad. That was more of just what's going on in here type of sit. But today I'm going to where those does have been bedding. I've done a couple evening hunts here and I've seen them every time I've sat here. So I know they're wandering out into these oak ridges to feed at night, and I'm pretty confident I can catch them coming back to bed. It's pretty windy today, so I have some noise cover, and I think as long as I can hug the bottom of this hill and not be seen, then I should have a pretty good sit today. I'm gonna assume that the deer are gonna be starting to chase within the next couple days. So I'm hoping around this doe bedding, there's some bucks trying to scent check or maybe even pushing some does around. And then later this evening, I'm gonna go to that spot where I saw those two really nice bucks the other day. So pretty exciting day we have ahead of us. And hopefully we can get some antlers on the ground. Well, I got back into this spot pretty quiet. I have a camera about 5 yards away from me, right under me. And I've been getting the does coming back into this area around like 7 a.m. pretty much every other morning. If they come by, I'm passing them, but I'm gonna hope they're dragging a buck or something with them. I've had a couple pictures of bucks kind of walking around this area, so we're gonna see if I can find any. I also have a pretty good line of sight over the top of this bedding cover and into a different area that I've seen bucks cruising before, but that area is too close to houses. However, I like the fact that I can see there at least, but as always, we're gonna give it some time. It's 6:14 right now. I might get down around like 10:30, 11ish, depending on what I see, but hopefully I get some pretty cool footage. Well, the wind has been absolutely cooking me over here. It's been blasting like 30 miles an hour through here at times. Super noisy, trees, everything's moving. Have not seen anything. This is the kind of wind I don't really expect deer to move in a whole lot. So I think I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna sit in my car for probably 20, 30 minutes, charge everything back up, and I got an hour drive down to my other spot where I saw those bigger bucks. The thing that's working in my advantage here is I'm gonna have a good amount of wind cover with all this wind blasting around, and conditions are gonna be very similar to what they were when I first saw those two bucks. So if everything goes as it did the other day, I should hopefully have a nice buck in the back of my car tonight. We'll see though. I'm definitely gonna drop a camera in there, but I will see you guys when I'm at my tree. is a chilly morning today. I think it's like 32. It's also dead silent, so I can hear pretty much everything for like 150 yards. If you haven't watched any of my old videos from last year, this is a spot I usually like to come during the rut. It's a very weird spot. We'll have does bedding on some of these like rolling hills out here, but there's like nothing much to really like hold them in here. It's more of a spot that they're kind of like passing through. However, we have seen some pretty nice deer in here in the past couple of years. We also see a pretty good amount of does in here, so nothing's out of the question. Last year I walked right up onto like a decent little 8-pointer, so who knows what's gonna happen today. But I passed 2 does like half a mile up on the road before I parked over here, and I think if I see like absolutely nothing today, I might walk up where I saw them and do a little scouting in the woods over that way, but we will see. I also forgot to mention I got a new camera lens so I can zoom in pretty dang far. I'm going to be testing it out on some of these squirrels running around over here, but hopefully I get a nice deer to test this lens out on. I think it'd be pretty cool. Well, I'm up here in the same spot I saw those 2 bucks last time. As I was getting set up, I had 2 does coming behind me from like almost where I walked from, right at 2 o'clock. Came in, I think they saw me move around a little because I was still setting up, and then they just kind of bounded off. They didn't blow or anything, which is good, and they didn't run back in here at all, which I like. Last night, I had one of the bucks at the scrape right below me, just working it, hitting the licking branch, whatnot. That was at 4:30, about a half hour before legal light ends. I got in here nice and quiet. Besides those 2 deer, I don't think anything back here spooked. At least that's what I'm hoping, but I feel pretty confident tonight. As long as those 2 does didn't mess anything up, which I don't think they should, then I think we are in business. Right now it's 2:15, like usual. I'm not really expecting anything until an hour before light ends, so I'm gonna sit here and be patient. Well, I've been having some pretty decent action out there. You saw on the end of that video, I had a couple does coming in. Haven't been able to find another buck in person yet, but I've been getting them on my camera pretty good, so I think it's just a matter of time as to when I time a sit right, when they're coming in. I'm getting them daylighting pretty good, so I think I should be there on the right day, and we'll get an opportunity. But thank you guys for watching today's video. Not always constant buck action here in Massachusetts, at least in the spots I hunt. If you have constant buck action in Massachusetts, let me know where you're sitting and I will come join you. But if you like today's video, make sure to leave me a like, helps me out a lot. If If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Keep up with the rest of the hunting season. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.